My name is Percy Gilbert, and I'm a fashion designer from the UK. I was headhunted to come over to China, and that's how I ended up here. I'm currently the Dean of the Fashion Institute here at YS. There was actually a girl at the church I used to go to who was studying at London College of Fashion, and I was fascinated. Every Sunday I would ask her, what are you doing? What did you learn this week? And then there was just one day she turned around and she said, Percy, you could do it. And that was it. Bang, the lights went on. Something just happened. I was like, yeah, I could do it. When I was a student, I met Alexander McQueen. Something about him that nobody knows. I think for me, he was obviously very creative, but I think he really cared deep down. What I feel the sad thing is that people always wanted something from him. People were always like draining, but that's the way humans are, right? When someone's successful, everybody wants a piece of it. As a person, a lot of the other students were really scared of him, and he loved me. Why? Because I worked on a piece for him which was actually a very difficult piece, and it went very well. For me, fashion is a way of expressing yourself. It's a way of telling people who you are, but not just who you are, who you want to be. Sometimes I like to wear big t-shirts and just relax and lounge around. But when I wear a suit, everybody calls me sir. For me, trends are not so important. That's why they're trends, because they come and go. I know it's strange for a fashion designer to say that, but you should be able to wear what you want. And Alexander McQueen was very much like this, because he didn't look like a fashion designer when I met him. It's only later on, that he started smartening up, for business sake. But he liked to just be casual. I've been coming to China since I was 21 years old, and that's a long time. and I've seen it changing and changing and changing. It's important to understand that China or the East doesn't work the same way as the West, and I don't feel it has to. Brands, they want a piece of China. China buys over 50% of the luxury market. They will do anything to try and connect with the Chinese consumer. Celebrities, definitely, they carry a heavy weight in China. A lot heavier probably than I would say in the West. What I think is really interesting is a lesson, an example from Burberry. Now Burberry, they had a period where they weren't doing so well. They actually decided that they would get Chris Wu to do an endorsement for them and to be a face for them. As soon as they did that, they had a really big turnaround. Their sales had rose by 20%. So that's the power of celebrity endorsement. It makes a very big difference. Even their online presence and the Weibo, etc. As soon as Chris Wu joined, not long after, they went well over the million mark, million followers. China can no longer be really just viewed as a factory of the world. I think for me, everybody has been seeing China as a place to make your clothes. They don't really see it as a place producing designers, but that is also changing. There's been a shift from made in China into designed in China. The students here at Yingsheng are studying to go to the best fashion schools in the world. I think some of the students have a natural passion for fashion, and you need that passion, because fashion's a very hard industry, and as I say, it's billions and billions of dollar industry for most of the countries around the world. I would say this career is not for the faint-hearted, because it's very competitive, and as I said, because it makes so much money, it's even more competitive. China at the moment, I think globally is the top for artists and art. So I find myself looking a lot at artists and their work and speaking with them, and I noticed something that they really like to master things. And so that's what a lot of our young designers are doing, is learning how to design themselves so that they will create the future, Nikes, of the world. China is buying so much of the luxury market that it has to inevitably influence the luxury market. So some of the young designers, even maybe some of the young designers you see here, are the future designers or head of design for your Chanels and your Louis Vuittons. People used to introduce me as, oh, this is Percy, the head of design for Ben Sherman. And everybody would be like, wow. Now I go back, people say, this is Percy, who lives in China. And you know what? People still say, wow. This is what I try and encourage our students with as well, that actually people want to know them. They want to know a bit about their culture. People are interested.